Don't slip on the trail. Don't slip on the trail. Tempo, tempo. Can you keep up with my tempo? Tempo. Yeah, yeah. Blowing up, C4. I just hit the Mike Jackson on my tiptoes. Oh yeah, I know we go wherever that wind blows. The endo.
Oh, it's too
Deep. That's dude. Hello. Is this the one? Is this? What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome back. Welcome back again to another live stream. Look, see, I came back and it didn't take me 3 weeks to do it. We call that growth and progress. Yes, indeed. Salute to the people on the vertical and the horizontal stream. I'm going to keep both streams running as long as possible. I've been experiencing some technical issues running both streams at the same time, but we're going to go through it and we'll see how it goes. We're dropping a lot of frame rate, so we might drop the vertical and bring everyone over here to the horizontal because it's I'm trying things out. But anyway, we still got the intro to go. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Once again, welcome back to another one. Welcome back to another live stream with yours truly, COVD Technician. We are currently live on the vertical and the horizontal. So both streams should be running. Looks like the horizontal's freezing for whatever reason. So we'll probably kill the vertical stream and bring everyone over here on the horizontal because it looks like we're having some issues. So let me just make sure and see where that issue is coming from. Okay, so yeah, so we're having some latency issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the vertical stream now. So everyone that's on the vertical, come on over to the horizontal stream if you do wish to do so, because looks like I'm having a little bit of issues over here with the vertical. So we're gonna kill it right now. Yeah, I think we're having some issues with the stream. So we're gonna kill the vertical stream. Okay, so we're gonna stop that. So we killed the vertical stream. So everyone should be able to see the horizontal stream is going. So we're going to stop that because I'm noticing some network issues coming on the vertical side. So we're just going to stop that. And we're just going to have the solo stream. So really what I'm trying to do with the vertical stream is I kind of want the vertical stream to be sort of like that brute force way to get everyone to see that I'm live. I'm realizing that I have like some kind of network issues. I don't know why, but I have some kind of network issues when I'm using the vertical and the horizontal. So I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. I will fix that on the back end when I have time because I haven't actually changed my settings, but you know, it's doing its own thing. Let me see if I could drop the quality. Let's see if we can do, maybe just drop the quality a little bit. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But nevertheless, welcome back. Looks like stream is kind of picking up a little bit. Okay. So anyway, we'll just go through it. I don't know why it's lagging. I can see it's lagging on my settings, but anyway. So tonight I'm going to cover all things that happen when it coming to as far as it pertains to what happened with Elon Musk and Trump. A lot of things happened over the week. We got Iron 5 in the building. What's good? A lot of things happened over the week, and a lot of tech news, especially with Google. Google took a rare L, a really rare L, like the rarest of L's. So on your way into the stream, please like. The likes are free. The likes are free. If you like the information, you like the content, you like the music, you got the music. You got the music. You know, go ahead and share the stream out to get more people, so more people can get this information and get these vibes. So anyway, before we get into the whole spiel, we got Nick Cynical One, what's going on. Before we get into the whole spiel, I want to cover Mr. Beast. So Mr. Beast, as you know, is in all kinds of doo-doo. I mean, hi Cynical, how you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So Mr. Beast is in all kinds of doo-doo, right? Major doo-doo. So this is the Vid Summit. Okay, so Vid Summit is the creator summit that happens every year. You know, they invite these big creators and they tell you how you can be a big creator too by, you know, they teaching you. So we got this Sarah Sky, never heard of her. She owns like she has a diamond play button, so she has like 100 million views or whatever. Tens of millions of subscribers. Never heard of her. She owns like a content house. Of course, you know Roberto Blake. So at the footnote, now again, Vid Summit is an event that's hosted by Daryl Eves. Daryl Eves works with Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast wanted Daryl Eves to work with him. Right, so Mr. Beast works with Daryl Eves. They're one and the same, right? They're connected. So at the footnote, now mind you, because of all the issues, Mr. Beast is not highlighted in this promotional email at all. Right here, joining Sarah and Roberto are some of the biggest names in the industry, including Mr. Beast, Preston Plays, Hope Scope, Tom Bellew, and Matt, Pat, and Stephanie. So Mr. Beast will be at VidCon 2024. Like, I would pay to go to VidCon just to see how uncomfortable Mr. Beast is around all these people, because I know for a fact people are going to ask him questions. I know for a fact people are going to ask him questions, and he's going to be dodging questions like never before. So that is very interesting. I didn't think he would show up. I thought they would leave him out, but he's going to be there. So I stand corrected on that. So moving on from that, let's get into this AI stuff real quick. Okay. So if you know, on my community tab, I've been posting pictures of the AI, somewhat looking AI generated images, right? Now, I've been seeing some questionable sources in regards to the AI imaging, right? So all I can say now is simply that the Harris campaign is using some form of AI to mock up their images, to alter the images that they post for production photos, but not everything is AI, right? So this is the photo from Harry Sisson. So if you look, this is that photo that he posted, right? This is the original photo. Now, if you can see on the screen, I've seen a copy of this photo where the sign looks severely altered, but it's not here, okay? But this image is severely altered and it looks really strange, right? So what we're gonna do is, So like for instance here, right? So we're going to look at the source image. So this is the image and it got everyone pointing their cameras at like different things, right? Now this is a real image because let's go here and let's play this guy's video real quick.
Like people support Kamala Harris. This was his recent tweet. Hope, dedication, patriotism. That's the Kamala Harris campaign. The Kamala Harris campaign also seems to be AI generated. This is not a real picture. Like, let's take a closer look. First of all, none of their phones are recording the same shit. This dude looks like he's watching a video on the hub.
Now that's very telling right here. So this, I don't know what this camera is looking at, right? But let's continue.
I have no clue what this person's watching. This dude is apparently zoomed in on two people having a conversation. Not to mention, AI still has trouble doing hands. Because if this is a real hand, something is broken. Not to mention, this person is filming that person's phone, apparently. This person is watching a video with captions. This person thinks the sky is really important, but this is very obviously not real. Do you understand how shitty your candidate has to be to resort to using AI? The worst part is this isn't even the first time we've caught them doing this. But in Harry's defense, this is the first time he's done it. This is the first time he's used AI to try to lie to people. I mean, he has no problem lying to people, but this is the first time he used AI to do it. Harry, look, I know it's not your fault, man. I know Midas Touch or Act Blue just sent you this and said you had to post it. And if you didn't, you weren't getting paid. But bro, look at the fucking picture next time.
Okay. So, of course, when you look up this image, when you look at the image, it pops up as 92% artificial, right? Okay. So keep this in mind. Now, another image, and I kept this, is this the right thread? Okay. Now, another image was the reflection image, okay? So now here's the actual video. So here's the video. Now, if you can see, it looks like the camera phones are pointed in the direction of the airplane, and you can tell by the whites on the phones, right? I'm gonna move myself over here. I'm gonna stay right here. And you can see the whites on the phone. Okay, and that's shit. I forgot. That's copyrighted music. I might get dinged for that. I forgot. Okay. Hope I don't get dinged for that. And again, here's the original image from the airplane. Now, this is the actual image from the AP, right? So you see the signs, you see the people, you see there's no reflection in the camera. And that's probably because the camera is not picking up the reflection because of how the light is working. I don't know. Right? But you don't see the reflection. Okay? So now we're going to come here and we're going to look at another video. Now this is the actual video of the plane landing with the crowd, right? Okay, that's that music again. So we're going to mute the music. Okay. That's them walking. That's the crowd. Okay. Okay, you know, they got the stepping, you know, we got the, you know, got to get the people stepping and dancing and stuff, right? This is the crowd, okay? Now, coming back to these posts about the AI images, I'm just going to say that they are using some form of AI for some of the images, but not everything, right? I'm going to say some of the images they're using is AI generated, but not everything, right? Again, here's the now. here's the up close right now. Here's the up close of the airplane. Okay. So here's the airplane. There's no reflection of anyone in the actual airplane. Okay. Now I know where this picture came from, but I don't know why these things are highlighted. This, you can't really tell what this is just by looking at it, right? Even if you looked at this, it looks like the arm is pointed kind of weird, right? Now this part right here is where people get kind of confused, right? And I'm gonna explain what you're looking at right here. So in a normal picture, you would say that this is okay, so this is supposed to be the K or the H, but it looks like a K and it's real squiggly and you can't really see it right. That could be because of the bokeh, because of the blur. That could be for a myriad of reasons. All right, when you're looking over here, you see the multiple arms. Again, that could be the one person putting the arm up here, but then you see the one arm in the middle and it's kind of blurred out and it disappears into the crowd. Okay, so it's weird, right? The biggest thing is the reflection. So again, looking at the picture, you don't see the crowd in the actual reflection. You don't see the crowd at all. There's no one there, right? You see, actually, what you see is you see the agent, right? You see the agent in front, but you don't see the crowd, right? Now, again, you look at the hands, you see the weird little fingertips and everything. You see how blurred out all of the foreground is, like really superiorly, like extremely blurred out. You have the hand looking real deformed here, right? So the picture, it just looks weird. It looks really, you see a lot of deformed images. Now, this image, I cannot confirm where I seen this, where this original image is from. I cannot confirm where this is from. Okay. But when you see AI images, this is kind of what they look like. Real deformed, strange, mushed up faces. But I have not been able to confirm where this image comes from. So I can't verify this. I haven't been able to verify this actual image. Okay. Because I don't know where it comes from.
Here we are at the latest Kamala and Waltz rally, and when you zoom in, the picture is just so weird. There's no like real faces, everything's so blurry.
Again, you see like when people zoom in on the pictures, everything is like blurry. You can't see, you don't know what's going on.
So then we just take this little picture and we put it over to AI, and it basically says,
no, I don't want you to put the picture. I want you to zoom in and show me what you're looking at. So we're going to look right here.
Here we are at the latest Kamala and Waltz rally, and when you zoom in, the picture is the latest.
It's a terrible example. You're not really. So this is satire. So this is a satire. That's believable with AI, but no. You see, a lot of people are pulling these pictures out from the crowds, but I don't know where the source images are coming from, right? And this is how you gotta, you gotta be careful with actual misinformation, right? From both sides of the aisle, is that when you see things like, okay, now where is this image from? You have to find the source images of what people are posting, so that you just don't just buy into saying that everything's AI generated. Again, I see these images, but I want to know where these source images are coming from. Okay? Because these images look weird, but you have to find out where the source image is where it's coming from. Where was this picture taken? Okay, because this is obviously AI generated images. Like everything in here is generated by AI, right? But you can't find where the actual image is. Let me see if you can find where this image is from. Right? So yeah. And this is kind of what you see now. Now this is the footage from. Yeah, so this is the image from the AI. This is the image from the picture that we showed. Now, the actual video itself, right? The video itself is legit. We're talking about the still photos that is shared of the video. Yes, it's a parody account, so we can't trust that, right? Whenever I see these AI images, I just want to know where the source image is coming from, right? So let's see. What is this? They take the image and okay. So my final thought on the AI Kamala Harris thing is that it's not conclusive that everything, all of the crowds is AI. I have seen AI generated images of crowds of pictures shared from the Kamala Harris campaign. Like I've seen it. I've shared it on my community tab. But this, from this rally, it's shaky. Okay, so it's very shaky. I can't 100% trust what I'm seeing. Let's see. And again, look, he's sharing this satire video. Like, you know, we can't be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta, you know, let's see, yeah, all right. So that's my opinion on the Kamala Harris thing. I'm going to say that it's not really conclusive for me. So I'm just going to say, be mindful of what you're seeing, but not everything is AI. NC Worker was going on. Welcome back. Okay. So moving on. So let's see. We got the Harry Sisson thing out. What's this? That's the AI stuff. We're gonna get to the Donald Trump thing. That's GARM. Okay. What's this? This is more of the Kamala Harris. Okay. That's that. Boom. Okay. So now we're gonna get into the second part, right? Now we're gonna get into the second part, right? So now we're gonna talk about the Rumble lawsuit. So the Rumble lawsuit started in 2020 based on Google's predatory practices with their search engine, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly read through this Rumble lawsuit. So May 13, Rumble, the video sharing platform and cloud services provider, today announced that it has filed a second lawsuit against Rumble for multiple violations of the Sherman Antitrust Act. This lawsuit is separate and distinct from Rumble's first lawsuit against Google, which remains in active discovery. That was the big problem that Google didn't want. They didn't want it to go to discovery. In the new lawsuit, Rumble alleges that the massive technology firm has engaged in a number of anti-competitive and exclusionary practices across its range of digital advertising products known as the ad tech stack. Rumble filed the suit late Monday in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California and seeking injunctive relief and damages in excess of $1 billion. Rumble's suit alleges that Google has monopolized the ad tech stack by buying companies up and down the chain, concurrently representing both ad buyers and sellers. While also running the exchange that connects those parties, the arrangement creates flagrant conflicts of interest and is analogous to insider trading in financial markets. Google has access to information that allows it to rig the system in its favor and extract super competitive fees. That every transaction, by engaging in such anti-competitive practices, Google has effectively taxed Rumble's success, which would be even greater than it already is were Google not employing such tactics. Rumble further alleges that Google has maintained its monopoly through additional anti-competitive conduct, including by tying its products to lock-in customers on both sides of the ad tech stack and by reaching an agreement with Facebook to prevent Facebook from offering competitive alternatives to Google's ad tech ecosystem. Because it operates several businesses in the same arenas as Google, Rumble is in a unique position to bring such a suit against the monopolist tech giant. Unlike other companies, Rumble's operation includes a video sharing platform, a cloud storage service. That's because so they got away from AWS because during 2021, AWS was sniping a lot of conservatives into the oblivion, based because of what happened on January 6th. So you remove yourself from the oligarchs so they can't stifle you. All right. And advertising exchange, which means that Google's unfair practices are especially harmful to Rumble. This is the second lawsuit filed by Rumble against Google, with the first accusing the search engine operator of favoring itself and another of its properties, YouTube's, in its search results. That suit also alleges that it is unfair that Google applications, including YouTube, come pre-installed on Android-based devices. That first suit was filed in the same federal court in California in 2021 and is in active discovery. The trial with a trial scheduled for May 2025. Rumble is represented in the suit by Robert Dickerson of Competition and Technology Law Group LLP and Mark Meador and Brandon Cresson of Cresson Meador Powers LLC. Okay, so that's Rumble. Okay, now combined with this, we have the judge ruling. So this is where it gets nasty for Google, right? Judge rules Google violated antitrust rules to maintain search monopoly. This is from Axios, right? Axios is a good aggregator for news because they give you the news information in a succinct way, so you don't have to go through all the the gibberish and stuff, right? Google violated federal antitrust rules to maintain a monopoly in online search market per a federal judge's ruling issued Monday, a seismic turn of events for the tech giant that will ripple across the entire industry. And this is a very rare L for Google. Google does not take L's like this, right? Alphabet company. Driving the news, Judge Amit P. Mehta of U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia said in the ruling, Google has abused its position to stay at the top. Google is a monopolist, and it has acted as one to maintain its monopoly, Meta wrote. It's the biggest tech antitrust ruling since the Microsoft case of the 1990s. Why it matters. The ruling is proof that the current U.S. antitrust law can be successfully applied to online companies born in the digital age, and factors beyond customer price can convince a judge that a company acted as a monopolist. Meta's ruling is about liability, not remedy, so it's unclear what Google will be required to do next. So it's about remedies, it's about liability, not remedies. Google and the Justice Department did not immediately provide comments. So here's the context. The proceedings began in 2020 with the DOJ and a number of states sued Google for illegal dominance in online search, basing their case mostly on the contracts between Google and Apple's Safari and Mozilla's Firefox worth billions. What they're saying, this landmark decision holds Google accountable. It paves a path for innovation for generations to come and protects access to information for all Americans, said DOJ Assistant Attorney General Jonathan Cantor in a statement. This decision recognizes that Google offers the best search engine, but concludes that we shouldn't be allowed to make it easily available, Kent Walker, Google's president of global affairs, said in a statement, citing the ruling's description of Google's high-quality search engine. Given this and that people are increasingly looking for information in more and more ways, we plan to appeal, of course. The other side. Google and its lawyers maintained throughout the trial that every decision made around search and default settings for search it paid for on Apple, iPhones, and Androids were all for providing the best possible consumer experience. People aren't forced to use Google on their smartphones. They choose to because they think it's the best, the company repeatedly argued. I don't know about that. Google rivals, including Microsoft, and browsers including DuckDuckGo, accused the company of monopolistic behavior, arguing smaller browsers can't possibly compete with Google's scale, also arguing that such dominance is sure to spill into the race to lead on artificial intelligence. The government accused Google of acting as a monopoly both in how it priced search ads and over the lucrative contracts with other companies. What's inside? DOJ's ruling says that Google has monopoly power over general search and general search text ad markets. That its contracts or distribution agreements have anti-competitive effects, and Google did not provide a valid argument as to why they exist. So what's next? Antitrust cases against big tech will continue. Another DOJ case focused on Google's advertising technology will go to trial in September. And the DOJ suit against Apple is underway as well. So let me wrap this up. Let me add some subtext to this. So currently, all big tech companies are heading towards these kind of lawsuits right now. Google, Microsoft, Apple, a couple from Google, a couple from Apple, Facebook, right? These big companies, all of these big tech companies are being brought to kneel by the government with these antitrust suits, right? So the digital landscape is changing. Now, how it changes, I don't know. But it's starting to change. And these big tech companies are starting to get reeled in. They're starting to get reeled in a little bit. No, a lot. And just a hypothetical, what this could mean is that Google, Alphabet would have to somewhat disassociate itself from the Google search engine in some form of way to allow other search engines to compete. I don't know if this lawsuit will address how Chrome, how YouTube has a built-in delay on other competing browsers that doesn't exist on Chrome. So a lot of things are going to get exposed. So let me give my voice a break and let me get into GARM now. Okay, like I'm telling you, there's a lot of digital L's that have been handed out within the last 3 weeks. So GARM is also being sued by Elon Musk and Rumble for their predatory practices as well. So this is Viva Frey on Twitter, and I'm gonna let his video play for a little bit, and he's gonna explain what's happening with GARM.
Alrighty, party peoples of the interwebs, Viva Frey, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida rumbler, in my home office, doing something of a follow-up on yesterday's vlog. Yesterday, as at the time of shooting this vlog, I believe it's August 7, 2024. Yesterday, I broke down X's lawsuit against the WFA and a bunch of other co-defendants and potentially unnamed co-conspirators. The WFA, for those of you who don't know what it is, stands for the World Federation of Advertisers. They are a proud partner with the WEF, that is the World Economic Forum. The WFA has a subsidiary committee of sorts, an initiative that they started called the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, GARM. And as I explained yesterday when breaking down X's lawsuit against the WFA and the other defendants, the Global Allegiance Alliance of Responsible Media basically groups together 90% of the ad spend online. They proudly boast this on the WFA website. That's something like $900 billion that the GARM represents by way of its monopoly over advertising spends. What the WFA does is, through GARM and its initiative, tries to impose certain safety protocols on the platforms on which advertisers advertise. And if those platforms don't enable certain safety protocol, well, then the GARM, exploiting, abusing of its monopoly, will say, we're not going to advertise on those.
So, to summarize what he's been speaking on so far, this is what happened when Elon Musk bought Twitter. The people that Elon Musk was fighting with, that were telling him they're not going to advertise on his platform anymore, when he spoke at that conference and told them to fuck off, especially Bob Iger at the that advertising conference, these are those people that he's talking about. This was GARM. That was GARM doing that. The X is going to fail because it can't advertise. That's GARM. The X is going to fail because they can't generate ad revenue. That's GARM. That's GARM doing that. That's GARM pulling the strings to bring X, Twitter, to its knees, because when Elon Musk bought GARM, Elon Musk took away a pivotal chess piece in the war and information, disinformation, and propaganda. Twitter was like their Library of Alexandria. That was their main chess piece that they used to silence and to promote whatever the hell they felt like promoting, right? So when Elon Musk took that piece off the chessboard, took all the garbage and threw it in the street and say, hey, look what they've been doing, that they did not like that. The collective, the elites, Elon Musk is an elite, but he's a different elite. I'm not gonna get into that, but the elites, they did not like that, right? So this is what's happening now with GARM. So I'm gonna let him continue.
Those platforms unless you adhere to certain safety protocols. If it were only an issue of safety protocols, there wouldn't be much of an issue here. As I explained when I broke down X's lawsuit against the WFA and the other defendants, Unilever in particular, as is alleged in the lawsuit, it actually has not everything to do with when someone think of the children safety protocol on these platforms, because Twitter and Rumble, and we're going to get to it in particular, have very good safety protocols on their platforms to ensure that advertising is not running against offensive, violent, whatever content. As I explained in the lawsuit, it's one of the most shocking allegations in X's lawsuit against the WFA. You had Unilever saying, we want to make sure that Twitter is taking care of overtly partisan content, specifically the Hunter Biden laptop expose. This was Unilever trying to use its monopoly power.
Okay, Unilever were not. In December 3rd, 2022, communication about the press release to be issued regarding December 1st meeting, Rakowitz explained that separately, I connected with the 4As and Group M yesterday. They're pleased with the concessions, especially the social listening, since that proves/disproves the safety of the platform. UL will not trust until they see the data and have said they have issues with overly partisan takes. Example, Hunter Biden laptop expose. And again, I don't want to get into the whole Hunter Biden laptop, but the story was hidden with big tech, which was an actual story. The story is real. It really happened. It's a real thing. But the current administration with big tech and big media silenced and hid the story and remove people from the platform that were sharing the story, even silencing the New York Post, which is a historical news publication out of New York City, over 100 years old. So, continue.
Power through the GARM WFA alliance to coerce social media companies to censor quote, overtly partisan conduct. This lawsuit is something of an uphill battle because it's based on Sherman Act antitrust violations, the idea being that the WFA, which basically boasts having a monopoly, 90% of all online spending in the order of $900 billion, is exploiting of that monopoly.
Okay, and that online spending is also included with YouTube. So keep that in mind as well.
Not just to surreptitiously coerce censorship of social media platforms, but also necessarily causing the prices of advertising to increase as a result of excluding certain platforms from ad spends. They do this notwithstanding the fact that it's against the interests of the advertisers, both in terms of paying more for what they're getting and also being excluded from cost-friendly platforms that actually have very, very good safety protocols, such as Twitter and Rumble. So this lawsuit is out there. It's an uphill battle, as I explained, but it's fascinating to see what's going on. And I then had Chris Pavlovsky on my channel for an interview, the CEO of Rumble, and we talked about this. And I'll show you the clip at the end of this video where when we were talking about GARM, Global Alliance for Responsible Media, the WFA, the World Federation of Advertisers, who are a partner of the WEF, who have actively engaged in what...
And anything that's connected to the WEF is not for YOU or ME. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Okay, anytime you see those three letters, you know it is no good business for you. I'm just gonna let you know that when you see WEF, it is no good business for you. Keep that in mind. Nothing they do is in your interest.
What I will call election interference, as we've seen in the allegations of X's lawsuit. Chris Pavlovsky comes out and says, look, we've been disclosing some of these emails, at least two. One was from Dunkin' Donuts saying we want to advertise on right-wing content. The other was from, I forget who it was from now, doesn't really matter. Chris Pavlovsky revealed some of these emails which say we don't want to advertise on right-wing platforms. We don't want to advertise on content that hosts Steven Crowder. The only problem being Steven Crowder is also on YouTube. But Pavlovsky comes out and discloses a couple of these emails. Rumble is also suing the WFA on a very similar basis as X, and its lawsuit is equally as compelling. And they go through how WFA exploits its monopoly to coerce, pressure, censorship that has nothing to do with safety protocols, and how they abuse of their monopoly power to basically boycott, illegally boycott, because they're abusing of monopoly powers under the Sherman Act, illegally boycott platforms such as Rumble and Twitter, not because of any actual safety issues, but because of politics. In the interview...
So to understand the propaganda that comes with boycotting Rumble, the constant propaganda that is spread about Rumble is that Rumble is just a cesspool of right-wing conservative conspiracy theories, nut jobs. Same thing that happens with BitChute, right? BitChute is the same platform that deals with everyone is alternative, crazy, nut jobs, whack jobs, weirdos. These things are based on these boycotts, right? These companies, they influence other companies, and these companies influence other people to spread this nonsense about these alternative platforms. Because the real crux of the issue is that while Rumble will never outclass YouTube, it is still competition to an extent where YouTube would love to have all of those conservative content creators and those alternative content creators on their platform so that they can demonetize them and then make money off their channels even though it's demonetized. But because these platforms are operating outside of YouTube's jurisdiction and YouTube's control, they have no input and influence on that. And going up a little bit higher, YouTube and Google. When I mention YouTube, I'm talking about Google. But with the advertisers, it's the same thing. They can't control the propaganda that's on Rumble because Rumble is wholly independent. So you have companies like Dunkin' Donut that says, we're not pushing ads on Rumble because we don't want to push ads on right-leaning conservative content. Now, understanding market and your consumer base is so important, right? Because everything woke turns to shit. Okay, remember that now. So if you want to just quickly think about Dunkin' Donuts consumer base, it's one, coffee. If you haven't noticed, a lot of conservative, patriotic sort of influencers and platforms, they're big on coffee, like Black Rifle Coffee, you know, Death Wish Coffee. Coffee is a real thing, right? What group consumes a bunch of coffee? Blue collar workers, service workers, government workers, firemen, policemen, okay, first responders, EMTs. These people consume a lot of coffee, okay, because these people work the third shift, all right? And these people that work the third shift, oftentimes somewhat lean, moderate, right leaning. I don't get into the whole definitions of the direction of the political spectrum. I just know what I've seen over my years of watching content on the platform, right? So Dunkin' Donuts saying that we don't want to promote our coffee to right-leaning conservatives is them literally shooting themselves in the foot. But they can't help it because they're taking their marching orders from GARM. Let's continue.
Chris Pavlovsky says, we've sued them and the rats are jumping ship. He actually didn't use that analogy. I did because it's what's happening right now. But Chris said, I don't think GARM is going to be around by the end of the year. It's just his educated guess.
They didn't make it to the end of the week.
I'll show you the clip at the end of this video. He predicted that GARM would not be around by the end of the year because they've got something to hide, and it's quite clear because he is only scratching the tip of the iceberg with the emails that he's disclosed. He suspected that under the hood of GARM would be a lot more dirty laundry, a lot more very compromising or indicting emails, correspondence that would show wrongdoing by this agency. And lo and behold, the news of the day today, August 7, 2024, GARM is disbanding. Oh,
come on, man. What are we talking about?
There we go. Disbanded.
Overnight, after having been sued by Rumble and by X, GARM is disbanding, disaffiliating, whatever you want to call it, from the WFA. The WFA, the World Federation of Advertisers, is now saying, we're done with GARM. This initiative is over. Pack it up and head home, people. Not after they've actively interfered in the 2020 election by Unilever in particular, wanting to make sure that platforms were suppressing overtly partisan conduct, i.e. the Hunter Biden laptop expose. They are breaking up, disbanding, whatever. The initiative is over. And it's an amazing thing. Rats jumping the ship is one thing. But you damn well know that if they're not deleting evidence now, because I don't know that they could easily be deleting emails, because as I explained yesterday, part of what led to this was the House Judiciary Committee, Oversight Committee, investigating into this. And the House Judiciary Committee came to the conclusion that what GARM was doing via the WFA was likely illegal. But apparently they've been placed on not a litigation hold, but a document preservation hold from about a month ago. So it might be less likely that they're actively just out there digitally shredding emails, you know, using BleachBit, wiping it clean, or smashing it with hammers as Hillary Clinton did. It's less likely that they might be doing that, but that they might be disbanding their activities, because with each passing day that GARM participates in what it understood was an unlawful boycott, they would be accruing the damages that they might be ordered to pay to both Rumble and Twitter. Officially, you go read it. It's in the Business Insider. It's wild. Announced that they're done. The GARM initiative is over, whether or not they are now in alt control delete mode.
And what's so crazy about this is that the week that Elon and Rumble said that they were suing them both at the same time, they said, we're out of here. That is nuts. Like, do people understand what is happening in the digital landscape? Like, the house of cards is slowly crumbling, right? And we're not even getting into the whole Mr. Beast thing, right? That's another stream. We're not going to get into that. That's another thing, right? But the digital conglomerate, the digital oligarchs, like, something's changing right now. Slowly, something's changing. I don't know how much of it is going to be to my benefit, to your benefit, to the people's benefit, but there are some things that are changing. Some things are getting shooken up, and it is fascinating to witness, because I would have never thought this would have happened. Would have never thought, right? So anyway,
or they're just in minimize the damages mode. Who knows? But Chris Pavlovski predicted this. Rumble and Twitter are going after them, and it would seem that Chris was right on the money of paying after for Twitter and Rumble. Chris Pavlovski, keep up the Lord's work, people, and if you like what I do, not only is it against our interest not to advertise here, but the people who boycott us afterwards will make us pay twice. One, for not selling them the products, and two, for boycotting them in the first place for political ideologies. So that's where things are at right now. Rumble and Twitter are making a difference in the world, and I'm partial to Rumble, but they are walking the walk and talking. The entities are still there, and they would talk to people in real life. And now you know your vlog. Peace out, peeps. Booyah! Now I could keep you all day, and I know that
so this is conversation with the Rumble CEO. I'm going to put myself right in the center. There we go, right in the middle. There we go.
You're mildly busy, Chris. So up next, so you got this stuff going on. What else can you disclose, either for the first time or what do you want to let the public know of what Rumble is up to?
So again, this is Chris Pavlovski, the CEO of Rumble.
Well, I just disclosed a bunch of emails today, so
who's that? There are more to come.
No, I'm gonna keep it to these two. Maybe one more, but like I kind of described that one already on this show. I'm gonna keep it to these, and I will say I'll make the prediction that there's definitely some dirty laundry, as Elon Musk put it today on X.
Nick says, Gabe, what's going on? Gene, what's up? Salute to guys, people in the chat room. What's going on? I've been watching the chat. You guys, if you like the content, like and subscribe if you're new. Share it out if you appreciate it. Nick says, I'm partial to Rumble as well when it comes to them and X, but I'm even more partial to BitChute over them. Yeah, I like BitChute too, but BitChute got their foot put in their ass, man. I like BitChute too. I like alternative platforms. Continue.
I think that because there is, I think that just a little prediction of mine and completely my opinion and nothing else, but I don't see GARM making its way to the end of the year. I think they know they're doing something illegal, and I think behind the scenes they're pretty freaked out about what's going on, and I'd be surprised if they're still there by the end of the year. But it's pretty disgusting what we've seen.
And shit, I appreciate it, Nick.
Like if you look at them, I look at them and I'm like, crap. Like these guys are asking us to change.
Yeah, so he nailed that shit right on the head. Let's get to the Business Insider real quick. So let's get the music back up. The Global Alliance for Responsible Media, GARM, is discontinuing after Elon Musk X filed an antitrust lawsuit against it. The advertising trade group, the World Federation of Advertisers, told its members on Thursday that it was discontinuing activities for its Global Alliance for Responsible Media initiative following an antitrust lawsuit filed by Elon Musk X against the company earlier this week. Stefan Lorek, the CEO of WFA, wrote in an email to members seen by Business Insider that the decision was not made lightly, but that GARM is a not-for-profit organization with limited resources, which means that we don't got that kind of money to deal with multiple billion-dollar lawsuits. We don't got that kind of money. The news came just 2 days after X filed an antitrust suit in Texas court, which alleged that GARM members allegedly colluded to collectively withhold billions of dollars in advertising revenue from Twitter, known as X. GARM members Unilever, Mars, CVS, or Orsted are also named defendants. Representatives of WFA and GARM didn't immediately respond to requests for comment from Business Insider. Ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino posted on X, and we're going to play her video. She has a video. I want to see her video. Okay. Now, Linda, Linda's connected to the WEF, right? So Linda's not clean, but you got to pick your battles. You know what I mean? Like, you got to pick your battles, right? So here's her video.
Hey, everybody. I was shocked by the evidence uncovered by the House Judiciary Committee that a group of companies organized a systematic illegal boycott against X. It is just wrong. and that is why we are taking action.
She has a pendant that says "Mama" and "Free Speech." Everybody ain't on your side, but sometimes the arrows that they sling are to your benefit. But yeah, we're not gonna dwell too much into that.
Today, we filed an antitrust.
They go BX right here. It says here go BX, right? X has failed to control the spread of CSAM on the platform, suppress independent outlets, and knowingly boosted disinformation accounts. Now you want me to feel sorry for you because advertisers didn't want any part of it? So there's different battles being fought for and against the execution of speech on the platform. Okay? Not everyone's going to get what they want. That's just how it is. That's the reality of things. But let's continue.
Trust lawsuit against the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, 4 of its key members, and the World Federation of Advertisers. These organizations targeted our company and you, our users. The evidence and facts are on our side. They conspired to boycott X, which threatens our ability to thrive in the future. That puts your global...
Yeah, I know. She wore those intentionally. Like, you know, you get it. Like, she wore all this stuff is intentional, right? Don't get it twisted. But just, we got to understand that the fights sometimes, like, yeah, sometimes we need to get our jabs in, but sometimes just let them fight. Like, you know, all right, y'all gonna fight it out. We're gonna let you fight it out, but that don't mean we cool. Because you still do your nonsense, but right now we're letting you fight it out because you knocking off GARM will be to our benefit nonetheless.
Town Square, the one place that you can express yourself freely and openly at long-term risk. People are hurt when the marketplace of ideas is constricted. No small group of people should be able to monopolize.
And she's a good speaker too. I have to give her that. She's a very good, convincing speaker, way better than Elon. So, you know, he conceded his hand to a good pick because she's a great speaker.
What gets monetized. This group is no match for the power of our users. All of you, the very same users that have driven usage of X to all-time highs. I joined X because I believe in the power of the global town square.
Yeah?
It's users like you, people of all backgrounds and opinions, who make X indispensable.
This is my first time watching this video, y'all, so these are real reactions.
You deserve an open platform where your views can be expressed
Really?
without restriction and without fear.
Really? Okay.
To all of you who have been part of this transformative journey that we're on, thank you. Rest assured, X has never been more committed to innovating and expanding all of our global town square.
Man, she's slinging that thing, man. I'm telling you, she's slinging that thing, man. I'm telling you, she know how to sling that thing, man. She good. She cold with it, man. She know how to sling it. I'm not gonna knock her for that. She know how to sling it, man. The hand gestures and everything, she know how to sling it, man. You gotta respect that. You know, she know how to sling it. You know, because if that was Elon, that shit would sound painful. You know what I mean? Like, but she got it. You know, so I'm gonna give her that. That Jedi mind trick. I know all of this shit, and you know and you making eye contact, and I'm telling you, she got it. She got it. You know, I gotta give her credit for that, man. But don't let that get you all nutted up, because X still does a lot of nonsense, but you gotta pick your battles. You can't get everything. You gotta learn to what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word where you gotta take what you can and not what you want. The word leaves my mind now. Somebody will tell me in the chat room. But yeah, you can't get everything that you want. But you gotta take what you can get when you get it. And getting GARM being disbanded, well, if it is a win for independent creators because of how heavy their hand was on platforms like X and Rumble. So that's a win. Okay? Let's come back to the Business Insider. Found it. What is that? Oh, that's the melody. Okay, let's skip that. Twitter's advertising revenue plummeted after Musk's takeover, with large advertisers among those who fled the platform. She must have hired Tim Cook's PR coach, probably. With large advertisers among those who fled the platform after the company changed owners, that was GARM's doing. Musk had fired hordes of sales and safety staff and brought back previously banned accounts to the platform known as X. The platform's lawsuit alleged that after Musk acquired Twitter in 2022, GARM persuaded top brands not to advertise on it. Advertising insiders expressed concerns to Business Insider earlier this week that while they thought the claims made in X suit were baseless, the action would nonetheless sap GARM of resources that would hinder its work. Mick Jagger said it best: "You can't always get what you want, but if you try, sometimes you might find you get what you need." Exactly. Right? Goddamn. Damn Nick on the wall with the bombs. Exactly. Like, GARM being disbanded is a win in itself. That's a W. That's a W because they had an exceptionally heavy hand when it comes to forcing the hand of advertisers on these platforms. Okay, so that's a win. GARM has only 2 full-time members of staff and had already retained counsel to deal with legal requests from the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan, another guy who's not, he's not your friend, but he's your friend against some other people. He's not your friend. But the committee has been investigating whether GARM members illegally colluded to demonetize conservative platforms and voices. That investigation is ongoing. This is a big win for the First Amendment and a big win for Chairman Jordan's oversight work, said Russell Dye, a spokesperson for the committee. Earlier this week, the video site Rumble also filed an antitrust suit. We already covered that. And post-X, Musk had previously encouraged other companies who had been systematically boycotted by advertisers to file their own lawsuits. There may be also criminal liability via the RICO Act, nigga. Nigga, yo. When you see them 4 letters, RICO, bro, you don't ever. Yo, let me say something, yo. You don't ever want to see them 4 letters come up against you. Ever. It don't matter who the fuck you are. If you operate in the United States of America and you see them 4 letters come up against you, RICO, bro, you in trouble. You better hope that shit go away. You don't want to see RICO nowhere near you. There may also be criminal liability via the RICO Act, he posted, referring to the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act. Bruh, when I tell you that there is some shit that is shaking up in the digital landscape and we all don't know how deep the shit goes, I mean that, and it's not a conspiracy. This is my first time reading the article. I didn't even know the RICO Act was brought up against this. If they get hit with the RICO Act, oh my Lord, that is major. That's why they disbanded. It wasn't because of the lawsuits. It was probably because they were told that they might fall under the RICO Act with what they were doing. Alonzo All-Star Advisor, salute to you. They in trouble. Damn, the Rico? I wasn't expecting that. So again, big picture, right? Big picture, right? GARM disbanding is a win for everybody. It's a win. Their hand was exceptionally heavy, but their influence, but their resources were limited compared to Elon Musk. Don't get it twisted. Elon Musk's still a billionaire. Like, you know, government funded billionaire or not, he's still a billionaire. He still got money. Money. So between him and Rumble, if they're suing them at the same time, not many corporations got the funds to hold up against those types of lawsuits. Especially if they're operating under the pretense that they may get slapped with the RICO Act. That's major business, man. This is a W. Now, I don't want to get caught up with the whole Elon Musk is a white oasis, and and he got all this stuff. We don't take the W that comes your way, and you can worry about the other stuff later, right? So now to the main event. Now we get to the main event. Let's get to the main event, man. Let's get to the main event. The main event was the Donald Trump and Elon Musk live interview on X. When I tell you, you don't gotta like either one of these people on the screen right now. You don't have to like them. I'm not gonna ever convince you to like them, and I'm not gonna gaslight you into believing to like them, but you have to understand how historic this was, right? Elon Musk and Donald Trump had a live Twitter space that had over 1 million people listening in to them talk. That is a record on Twitter. As far as a streaming event goes, I also think that is a double record, because the record for live stream viewers in a live stream was done by a guy talking about some Brazilian streamer talking about Fortnite. And they beat this. This might be the most watched event, one of the most watched and listened to events on the internet, because at the end, the total views and shares amount added up to over 1 billion views. That means over 1 billion people totally listened and viewed this stream by Elon Musk and Donald Trump. That means 1 billion people. That is more than CNN, Fox, ABC, CBS, MSNBC. Bigger than the 5 major American news organizations. This stream dwarfed all the numbers. Matter of fact, 32 million by itself is more than what they would usually get with anything that they do, even during prime time. And they're upset about that, right? So I'm not going to get into the politics of what they discuss. We're not here for that. We're only here for the technical aspect of things. So this showed how powerful, even though they had some issues, he said they were DDoS, the system crashed, they had some issues, right? But it showed the technical ingenuity of how quickly they were able to recover and still continue with the event, which was in itself impressive. Like, that's impressive to deal with that influx of viewers and listeners, for the system to crash globally and then be able to start back up and still get hundreds of millions of people, tens of millions of people to listen in. That is amazing. Amazing. You don't even get 1 billion people watching the Olympics. You don't get 1 billion people watching national sports. You don't even get 1 billion people probably watching the World Cup. To be frank, 1 billion people listen to Donald Trump talk to Elon Musk. So if you're a news organizer, so the news organizations were so pissed. They were so mad because what happened on X was pretty much a shot in the dark for them. Because what that showed them was that there can be a future without them in it. There can be. That doesn't mean there will be, right? There may be some other things happening near the end of the year. I'm not gonna get into that because I don't know 100%. But there could be a future with them not in it. And the population would, do just fine. Would do just fine without them. Now, I don't know if I can play
Perfect angle.
because Trump be talking some shit, so I can't. You gotta be careful with him because he starts saying something and you get dinged.
Pipeline. He shuts that down, and of education, move education back to the states, where
Now, this is the re-uploaded version. Now, to understand, this thing has been re-uploaded and reshared. So look at this right here. So that is 264.3 million views, right? That's the initial space. Now, that is combined with the fact that Elon Musk. Now, if you were to find, because I can't find Elon Musk, because Elon Musk just be, he be tweeting all kind of bullshit. But Elon Musk also retweeted this event, right? So Elon Musk retweeted this event, and he got another 400 million. Crazy. I just want to see.
Putting in regulations that make sense. I mean, I think we want to just move over, like, and if.
And the thing is, like, once the initial stream was done, they re-uploaded a higher quality version of the stream that got even more tens of millions of views. So the future of live media and news is ever changing, right? It's ever changing, and it's only getting better. And a platform like X can be the forefront of like that change of sort of live engaging news media that is faster than anything CSNBC, CNN, ABC could do. Because you can just boom, start the space and talk, while the studio gotta get people in the chair, they gotta set up the camera, they gotta set up the light, they gotta set up the guys in the back with the switcher, they gotta set up the teleprompter. Boom, you go into space and go live and tell what's happening in the news. When Trump got shot, I'm looking on ABC, Fox News, see what's going on. They're showing the video on Twitter. I'm looking on ABC. What's ABC doing? Well, ABC ain't live. They're not sharing anything. So what happened? What's going on? The video's on Twitter. X has the potential to be the #1 source in news media in the world, and that they don't like that because they can't control X anymore. Because before they can control X, they push a button and just silence a bunch of people, push whatever they want. They can't do that now to an extent. So this Trump and Elon thing is a powerful combination. It's a dangerous combination, right, for people that want to control things, because you can't really control these two people, right? Like, they're both really eccentric billionaires, and you can't really control them, let alone control Elon, because Elon, Elon is Elon, you know what I mean? But, a side note, a little bit of house clearing. Let me see. Let me see some. Let me see some. Let me see some. Let me see some. Right here. A little bit of house clearing. Right. Just a little bit. Not too much. Just a little bit of house clearing. So on my Twitter, on my story, I posted, the space, right? Shout out to Don. And Don's conversation was, and you notice, let me switch to Pretzel Rocks. And you notice how Elon isn't that good of a speaker, but still is a billionaire. So I'm like, Don, what you talking about? And I said, what's your point? He said that black folks equate having the gift of gab with intelligence, when in fact, that's not always the case. And I'm like, I get you, but I think, Elon has like Asperger's like Mark Zuckerberg. He always has a strange way of speaking. And then, he says Mark Zuckerberg isn't that good of a speaker, but Ben Carson, the list goes on. And I said, I see what you're saying. I've never felt that blacks equated the gift of gab with intelligence. So you don't think that we put a big emphasis on having a mouthpiece? And I'm saying a mouthpiece is just slang for many definitions of verbal communication. Yeah, but even our brightest use, and I just said the slang is not that deep. Let me just clear something. And then, conscious moron. That's a crazy name. I don't know why you would name yourself that. He ain't saying nothing new. So we're gonna address two things. Right. Number one, please, guys, I am currently in the process of transitioning, my platform into a different direction, right? What does that mean? That means I am moving towards making content towards a certain segment and creating that kind of content, right? What I'm moving away from are these old, outdated conversation and terminologies that people use in urban sector, right? I don't want to engage with these type of terminologies anymore, right? I don't want to engage in these outdated conversations that's been had for several years now, right? I'm not interested, okay? So I'm not interested in talking about quote unquote game and what that means. And I'm not interested in talking about mouthpiece and gift of what that means. I'm not interested in talking about these things. Like, these are outdated concepts for me. And I don't feel like getting rope-a-doped into a debate about slang. So I don't feel like having, a long dissertation and comment in my comments about slang. Like, we're moving on. I'm moving on from having debates and long-ended conversations about slang and terminologies and vernacular used in urban society. It's a pointless conversation for me. So we're moving on from that. So pretty please, people, the current and new people and the old people, let's move on from these outdated conversations, these old arguments over vernacular and way words are used. We're moving on from that now, okay? So I don't want to have to to come back and have conversation about mouthpiece, and we're moving on, okay? We're moving on, okay? So please move on with me. I would like to take you with me as we're moving on. So please, if you may, grab my hand and move on with me, so we don't have 2017 conversations in 2024. Let's try to move on now, okay? So we're not going to have any more conversations about what game and mouthpiece and gift of gab and his intelligence and people don't need to talk. We're moving on, okay? I totally respect that, Cobra. Thank you. Like, we're just gonna move on, all right? They got, what is this bullshit? This Pretzel Rock shit be tripping. Okay, we just let's move past 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. We're in 2024. I would like to take you with me. Please join me. Okay? Join me. It's fun. Okay? Number 2. He ain't saying nothing new. Please. I'm not ever going to have a long-ended discussion about politics with anyone on my channel. I'm not. Not because I'm scared, because there's no point in having that conversation. I don't, I kind of understand how the majority of the people that watch me feel about politics, and I don't really feel like discussing politics with people. It's a pointless endeavor for me, right? So we're not going to do that. So please understand the context of what I'm sharing with you. I'm not sharing because I want you to be on one side of the other. I want you to look past your, what triggers you politically and understand why I'm showing this to you, right? I'm not showing this to you because I want you to be a Trumper and a Elon fanboy. I want you to see the technological marvel and the precedent that has been set by these two individuals talking to each other, and close to 1 billion and over 1 billion people listening to these two people talk over the course of a week. That is monumental. Okay? That's monumental. That is more important than even you not liking the guy or the guys. That sets a precedent for the technology that we have today, that you can have a voice chat that can be heard by 1 billion people. You can't even get a television presentation to be seen by 500 million people, let alone 100 million people. Do you know that the finals only had about 12 to 15 million viewers, and it's been declining ever since? Do you understand that? You know what I mean? I agree with this, and I am moving forward. I like you. Yeah, you're right. Like, we're gonna let's just come on with me. Come on. We going in 2024. I want to take you with me. I'm going forward. Like, we're going over here. Like, if you want to stay over there and have conversations about mouthpiece and and game and debating about slang, have at it. But if you would like to move forward with me, I'll be glad to have you. There's enough room on the helicopter for everyone. Promise you. Okay. There's enough room on the helicopter for everybody. I promise you. It has unlimited seats. You just have to take your seat. All right? Thank you. Okay? So yes, we have to understand where technology is going. Right? Even if Mr. Beast is eating a lot of shit right now, his YouTube videos get 200 million views. Do you know there's more people watch Mr. Beast video than that watch the Super Bowl? Do you know that? Do you know more people watch a YouTube video than that watch the final episode of the season finale of what's the dragon show? The Game of Thrones dragon show? I forgot the name. Do you understand that? Do you understand where technology is going? Do you get it? Do you know that Paramount TV shut its doors? Cartoon Network? Nickelodeon might be on its way. Disney Plus they might shut down Disney Plus because it's eating shit. Do you see what's happening? Do you see everything is pointing towards getting away from, the current hierarchy of things? Do you see these things happening? Do you understand what's happening? Do you understand how big the moves that have been happening in the past 3 months are on the digital landscape? Do you see these things happening? Do you understand that they're happening? Do you understand the significance? Okay? So please, I know you don't like Orange Man. Orange Man bad. I get it. Orange Man bad. Elon bad too because he likes Orange Man. So Elon bad too. I get that. I'm not going to argue with that. But I want you to see the technology. I want you to see the precedent that's happening. I want you to understand that. Like, forget all the, all the other propaganda that you got in your head. Like, forget all that. I'm not gonna argue with you. Your propaganda. We can't pull copper tops too soon. Okay, you can't pull them too early. That's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna argue with that. But I want you to see the technology and the precedent that's being set. All right. Do you see Rumble? Rumble's fighting back. I thought Rumble would have got smoked. Rumble's fighting back and they're winning. Do you see what's happening? Rumble's fighting back and winning and joining forces with Elon and fighting back. Do you see these things happening? Rumble's going up against Google and is taking W's and Google's taking L's. Did you ever think that could happen? I didn't think that could ever happen. I thought only L's Google would take is when they delete their products. Do you see these things happening? Do you see the shift that is starting to happen? Just pay attention. That's it. Just pay attention. I know Rumble's conservative. They're racist. You don't like them. They talk about, letter 17 stuff. I get all of that. But do you see what's happening? Do you see it? That's all you gotta do is see it, right? Google, hey Rainin, what's going on? Google is taking L's. Yeah, Rainin. Real quick for Rainin. So Google, a judge ruled that Google violated antitrust rules to maintain a search monopoly. So in essence, the summary, the ruling is proof that current U.S. antitrust law can be successfully applied to other online companies born in the digital age and factors beyond consumer price, and can convince a judge that a company is acting as a monopolist. So yes, a judge has officially ruled that Google, with their search engine, is operating under a monopoly. And once in the U.S. government, you are labeled as acting as a monopoly, you have to let go of some things. So this could lead to Google separating itself from their search engine in some way or form, corporate, like whatever way the business jargon leads it to be. Google has to let go of the heavy hand when it comes to the search engine, because the U.S. government's saying, okay, you can't do that anymore. You can't do it. You can't control it anymore. And this was started with the House Judiciary Committee and Rumble. Rumble filed second lawsuit against Google for monopolistic and anti-competitive practices. So, the reason, coming back to, these two comments, I want y'all to understand that this digital hierarchy is shaking up a little bit. One of my favorite Google losses is Susan would no, Ray, we can't do that. I get you, but we can't go that hard like that. We can't. I get you, man. I'm not man or woman, but I get you, but we can't go that hard like that. I get you, right? I mean, I lost a news channel because of the shit, right? I get you, but we just can't go that hard right now. We just can't. We just can't go that hard. But I get a lot of people feel that way. All right. She cost a lot of people millions of dollars, right? We're going to get into the Susan Wojcicki YouTube thing in the next stream, because we're going to tie that in with what's going on with Mr. Beast, and this could implode the whole thing, right? This has the possibility to implode the whole thing. We're going to get into that, right? I promise you, we are going to get into that. Man, I know. Listen, I lost a news channel that was about to be monetized for the bullshit. I was very upset, extremely sad. Like, I was very frustrated, right? So I'm with everybody that had to move on and lose something because of the policies that she enacted that was probably tied to GARM. So I get that, but we can't do that. I don't want to be that guy. I'm not that edgy. I can't do that. But I feel you. I feel everyone that said that, that felt that way about old girl. I am not going to argue against that. I just can't do it here. I don't want to do it here. All right. I'm trying to be a little bit better because my Scorpio side will be right with you, but we got to try. We got to elevate ourselves just a little bit, But, I got you, bruv. I'll go easy. Thank you. But, yeah, like Rumble is fighting back, right? So I just want like people to understand that there's a change in the digital hierarchy of how things are operating. And I want us to like really understand these changes and pay attention to these changes and let go of these biases and this propaganda that we have formed. And when you hear Rumble, you hear racism and alt-right. Like when you hear X, you see none but racism. Like, let that shit go. Move on from that. Okay? Move on from all of that stuff. Look at the technology and the precedent that is currently being set. Elon is not your best friend. He's probably not your enemy as well. Right? Just take the benefit of what you can from him and keep it pushing. Okay? There is a conversation to talk about when it comes to the algorithm of social media, of these social media platforms, and they do give you what you want to see. And if you want to see racism, they're going to give you your racism 24/7. If you want to see racism, they're going to give it to you, right? But that's a separate conversation. So to sum up, this has been the biggest 3 weeks of, online activity I've ever seen. Right? So we have GARM disbanding, which means that their heavy hand that was using advertising to censor a lot of independent creators has lightened up, especially on X. Rumble calls Google to be listed as a monopoly, so we don't know how the government will handle them going forward, but eventually it will cause them to disband their anti-competitive practices using their Google search engine. And the Elon Musk and Donald Trump live stream showed the world that big news and big media can happen on platforms that is not connected to big media. And they didn't like to see that. So I want all of us, right? This motivational music, right? I just want all of us to pay attention to what's happening, to pay attention to what's going on, and to let go of our biases. Let go of these old conversations about mouthpiece and game and this person is racist and that person is racist and black people only respect mouth. Like, let's leave that shit alone. Let's move on. There are big things happening now, way bigger than the small niche of things that you know and love. There are way bigger things, and I would love for you to join me in 2024. However, if you choose to stay in 2017, God bless you. If you want to stay in 2018 with 2018 conversations and 2018 arguments and discussions, have at it. But if you would like to come with me in 2024 and 2025 and on, I would be glad to have you in, because there are things that are changing the digital landscape, and I think they're going to be good for everyone. And if they're not good for everyone, find a way that they can benefit you, okay? Because I see a lot of this stuff how it can benefit me. Side note, I would suggest that you fire up a Rumble channel. I would suggest that you fire up an Odyssey channel, right? Odyssey, my account is linked to Odyssey, so everything I upload is uploaded to Odyssey. I actually have to go check it. It just automatically uploads to Odyssey, right? I would suggest to you, if you're a content creator, to upload stuff to Rumble, because they actually have a really good monetization plan that gets you money faster than YouTube. Again, I know there's creators on YouTube that you make fun of, that no longer on YouTube, that are on Rumble, that you make fun of. And that's perfectly fine, entertainment purposes. But don't let your biases cloud your vision for the future. Don't let your biases do that. I'm waiting on Legacy Media to try and make a collective counterpunch to X and Rumble. I don't think they got it in them. I honestly don't think really Rumble, because Rumble doesn't have a restriction like YouTube for monetization, and they pay out fast, right? I've had Rumble creators tell me this on my channel, right? So yes, the joke is people who can't make content go to Rumble to die. Ha 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 ha. However, you can make money on Rumble, and it's not accessible. Matter of fact, let me just show you what's on Rumble, right? Let's just go to Rumble. Let's just go to Rumble. Let's just go to Rumble and look at Rumble right here, okay? So this is, I don't have an actual account with Rumble, all right? This is just me signing on, going on, and you can live stream on Rumble and BitChute too. Yes, Nick, you can live stream on Rumble and BitChute through OBS. You can live stream on Rumble, right? This is Rumble's front page, okay? It looks no different than Twitch and YouTube. It looks like Twitch, okay? You can scroll down. Where is the alt-right, conservative, racist content? Okay? Where is the conspiracy content at? Where's all of that alt-right, racist content that people say is on Rumble? I am told that Rumble is a site for racism. Where is the racism at? Front page, you see gaming, Fallout London, the new mod. You see people playing Star Citizen, The Evil Within. You see live streaming, America First, Nick Fuentes, Doc's Farm, okay? You have the commentary, you have the Red Pill people, Wildcard Wednesdays, okay? Featured playlist, you have film reviews, okay? You have sports, slap news, okay? Cordless hole punching and 9mm, okay? You got viral stuff. You got El Donald Trump. I think that El Donald Trump is Donald Trump's burner account. You got all these different types of content. Show me the racist content. Besides Nick Fuentes, because Nick Fuentes is racist. We already know that. But show me that. Show me the content. Look at the variation of content that is on Rumble, okay? This is what's on Rumble, all right? Where's the conspiracy theories? Where's the alt-right at? Besides Nick Fuentes. Besides Nick Fuentes. Lots of gamers and animal lovers, okay? So, beats, synthwave, Lo-Fi Girl is here. Lo-Fi Girl. On YouTube is on here on Rumble too, doing the same thing. All right? So, you have to literally dig to find the content that people try to tell you is in front of you. That's what I'm saying, Nick, right? It's like when I hear black people say that, I just say, you just listen to propaganda. Because there's no possible way that you're turning on Rumble and you're just seeing what you're telling me that you see. Because I watch stuff on Rumble and I don't really see that, right? And again, that is a separate conversation about what the algorithm gives you based on what you choose to see, right? It's a separate video. It's a separate video. It's a separate stream, because platforms cater, they cater what you see to who you are as a person with the AI. It caters it even down to your gender, right? Even down to your gender. It can cater what you see that can scope your reality on the platform, right? It gets very deep. I'm trying not to get that deep right now with it. But what you see is what you choose to see on the platform. Okay. For example, there's content creators who say, you know, X is racist, is numbered racist, and people are just racist. And then you look at what that person is following, and it's nothing but arguments about racism. So obviously, X is giving you what you like. You like to argue about racism, so you can argue about racism all day. You are in your own reality that's presented to you by X. Okay, they're giving you what you want. Okay, so if what you want is to argue and see about racism, what's the I Dream of Jeannie, right? Hold on, one little sound effect. There you go. Congratulations, you got your racism today. You can argue about DEI and you know, Project 2025 to your heart's content. My wish is your command. There you go. There you go. All right. So yeah, in closing, I will be back and I will talk about Mr. Beast. Barbara Eden was a beautiful Barbara Eden. Oh, I Dream of Jeannie, Barbara Eden, right? That's who that is. Forgive me, Nick. I'm a millennial. Wait a minute. Barbara Eden, that's Dream of Jeannie. Yeah, that is her. Okay, yeah, Dream of Jeannie. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's Dream of, okay, yeah, there we go. Okay. I Dream of Jeannie, man, that's a classic. I mean, even for my generation, that's a classic. That and shit just happened. She just made shit work, boy. When she hit that with the bang, there you go. She made it happen, man. That was classic, man. So anyway, I will, let me just come back to the regular screen. So I will come back and I will talk about Mr. Beast. The Mr. Beast situation is slowly spiraling. The hit pieces are coming. Nick found, I thought that was funny. The hit pieces for Mr. Beast are coming. The legacy media is circling the wagon. Mainstream media, big media, legacy media, they want to use this as a way to get YouTube under their finger. And I really think GARM getting disbanded was a piece that they could use that is no longer on the table. So there's a war going on right now. And I believe platforms like X and YouTube are going to be in the middle of that war. So don't let your biases, don't let your addiction to propaganda cloud your vision and prevent you from seeing the forest through the trees, or seeing through the forest and the trees, whichever one. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Don't try to correct me. I know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so stay vigilant and take advantage of the opportunities. So tonight I'm actually going to create a Rumble account. I'm going to create my Rumble account tonight, actually. So I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm going to create a Rumble account tonight. I'm going to fire up my Odyssey, see what Odyssey got going on. And we're going to take whatever we got to get. Whatever they're giving us, we just going to take it, man. Whatever they're giving us, man, just take it. And if it's a win, it's a win. It's a W, it's a W. Just take the W. All right? So till next time, man, thank you, goodbye, and good night.
from the start. By the way you stared, the way you wrote up on me, yeah, yeah. Man, I felt your energy. Wasn't used to being loved and treated differently, yeah. But something went wrong, the signals got crossed, and now we're on completely different pages. Let's go where we were, where no one gets hurt. Baby, keep it right there, don't you stress the flow. You're trying to pick the pace up, we should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Boy, you take me on a trip. Always up and down and back and forth in merry-go-round. I just wanna get it right. But when you go left, I'm stuck here feeling left behind. Cause something went wrong, the signals got crossed, and now we're going different directions. Let's go where we were, when no one gets hurt. Baby, keep it right there, don't you stress the flow. Trying to pick the pace up, we should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. If you love me just like you say you do, don't kill the good. If you kill him, you're gonna kill us too. Baby, keep it right there, don't you stress the flow. You're trying to pick the pace up, we should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe.
I'm a big YouTuber.